to his resume, I am told Malcolm is wearing a sports jacket that he made. Come on, tell me, could you give some of us a break in life? What you're literally you're a designer?
Yeah, DeMar Seville is my company. I've had it for a while now. It's I enjoy looking nice, and I figured why not design my own clothes.
Yeah, I want to look nice too. I can't design my own stuff. So you faced Brady in a Super Bowl and beat him. And he had, that was a pretty good day for Tom. He lost the game, but had good. I think there was only one punt in that Super Bowl. And you faced him 3 times this year. So if you had to tell a young safety who had never Malcolm faced Tom, what would you tell him? What would be the little 2 or 3 secrets you'd tell him to have any success against him?
Well, I think you got to know at all times he's reading the safeties. He is very much a advantage quarterback. So if you give him a look, he's going to do what's most advantageous for his defense. So if you're in split safety, you can be ready to get a run. If you're in a down safety, he's going to probably pass it. If you've got open gaps in the run and he sees it, he'll do that. And what he'll do is he'll wait, in his hard count, he'll wait in the shot clock to see if you can tip that or not, because he always wants to know where you are. They're going to start with a running back and put him out at receiver and motion him back in just to see if you're in man-to-man. So if you can play with those kind of rules, if you know what he's looking at, you can slow his read down just a little bit post-snap. If you can confuse him with the pre-snap look. But that's going to take a coordination, not only from the safety, but from your linebackers, from your D-line. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Otherwise, he'll see what's out of place and know what you're in.
It's interesting. John Elway, Mahomes, and Brady, this is really a weird thing to say, but I always feel like if Aaron Rodgers struggles early or throws a pick, his body language changes. He's not quite as aggressive. Elway, Mahomes, and Brady, I don't know. They could have 4 picks. It's just the way they don't care. So now that's just me as an observer of football. But I'm watching Tommy throw 3 picks in the second half against Green Bay. He couldn't give a rip. You've had some success against him. Is there I don't know if it's relentlessness. I mean, when you watch Tommy, do you ever feel like in a game you've got his number? Or is it a chess match for 3.5 hours?
Well, I think it's a chess match for 3.5 hours. I think we've seen games where he's gotten behind or teams have gotten after him. Even us with the Saints, we got after him and blew him out one time this year. And in that game, you didn't see him, press. And never did we feel like, okay, we got control of this. You know that he has that gear, and because he's so persistent that at any point in time, if you let your guard down or let him figure you out, he will come back and make those plays. So it's one of those things you've got to be, always 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead for the entire game, because he is, him being frustrated at an interception is not going to stop him from executing his offense if you allow it. Now,
you faced Mahomes as well. You had some success against Mahomes. Did you feel like when you faced Patrick, okay, he's really talented, but I can fool him a little more, I can manipulate him a little more because of my age and experience advantage?
No, you know what? With Patrick, it's the opposite. You never know what he's going to do. So with Tom, he's going to be 3 yards behind the center, and where he's going to be. Patrick Mahomes, they're running shovel passes. Their play design is crazy. They got motions all over the place. They got speed all over the place. And even when you get to him, he's elusive enough to either scramble for a first down or make some guys miss. And once you get off schedule, those plays are very, very hard to defend. And so you're really thinking about being more disciplined when you play a quarterback like Pat Mahomes. Everybody's got to win their matchups. Everybody's got to stay home. You've got to know some of the tips and keys. And then he's just you have to be ready for him to make plays. He's throwing, the angles at which he throws the ball are crazy. You don't see him anywhere else. And he's just going to make plays, and you have to survive those. So it's definitely a different approach for both quarterbacks.
So 39 players on both teams have played in a Super Bowl. That means more than half have not. So I want you to go back to your Super Bowl. Even for a veteran, a cagey guy like you, when you come out of that tunnel, Bill Romanowski once told me, he was in a bunch of them, he said, that first quarter I was in the Super Bowl, I don't remember it. He goes, just flash bulbs, I lost myself, and all I know, I was in the 3rd series. He goes, I don't even know what happened. So you tell me, Tampa's got a lot of guys who have never been in a Super Bowl, Malcolm. Were you a little on edge first quarter?
So the last time I was in the Super Bowl was my second time around. So I was a little bit I understood what was going into it. And that's what it comes down to. Can you block out the moment, right? All of the lights and the pressure that surrounds this game and focus on the game. It's the same game that you've been playing. So when I was in my last Super Bowl, those first 3 series, while they're going to be, you're anxious, you're excited, it's going to go fast, but I was able to kind of slow the game down. My first time, those first few drives, I don't know what happened. Like, you just get out there, stuff's moving, you come back, you drink some water, and then you're looking at the pages. You don't even remember the plays, and so it's like, who can? So I think the Tampa defense, especially, like, they're going to have to settle down very, very early in this game, and just focus on the things that got them to this place, taking the ball away, being disruptive on the quarterback, tackling with physicality. Those are the same things that win a Super Bowl, are the same things that have put you in that Super Bowl. And it's just the teams who can focus on those the most, the earliest, that seem to get settled in.
By the way, you faced Bruce Arians many times. You faced Andy Reid multiple times. My gut feeling is Andy Reid's got a lot more motion. That's what I would think. Is that the difference between the two?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Bruce Arians wants to throw it down the field. You'll get those slot formations, max protection looks, take a shot. And then the rest is kind of Tom Brady, just playing at the line of scrimmage based off of what the defense gives. When you get to Andy Reid and the Chiefs offense and Bieniemy, you've got motions, you've got shifts, you've got shovel passes, you've got, all kind of things, runs where you got gap scheme runs, zone runs, speed everywhere, orbit motion. There's so many things that you've got to deal with that offense that it definitely creates some problems with your eyes. And as soon as your eyes aren't in the right place, you got somebody behind your defense.
Who do you like to win?
It's really hard to bet against Tom Brady in these things, but when I've played both of these teams, what the Kansas City Chiefs present as a unit, from the play calling all the way down to the personnel on the field, is just really hard to defend and really hard to win. And if their defense plays well, which I expect them to, I see the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one. By
the way, you are a filmmaker of some acclaim now, Oscar-nominated. Contention.
Trying to get Oscar nominated.
Okay, yeah. It says here you recently won a film festival. It's on Peacock. It's called Black Boys. It's Black History Month. What's it about?
So it's really just diving into the humanity of Black boys. Oftentimes we only see kind of the two polar opposites, whether it's the athletes and entertainers or it's the negative stereotypes that we see in the media and news and things like that. And rarely do we ever just dive into the spectrum of humanity of Black boys. And oftentimes it's ignored. And it's reflected as early as our school age. Kids go to school, they read literature that doesn't talk about Black heroes. It has white heroes in it. They have less than 2% of educators are Black men. So you can go your entire time in school without seeing a Black man in front of the room. And then what does that just already tell you about yourself when it comes to leadership and things like that? So it's really just diving into that spectrum of humanity of Black boys, putting it on display, and understanding how, as we as a society have to do a better job of not trying to, uplift Black boys, but really just believing that Black boys are worthy and able to just be themselves.
Malcolm, I said this multiple times when there was a lot of players going out publicly with the NFL. I love the manner in which you did it. You weren't trying to win arguments. You were trying to enlighten the league. And I thought you had a professionalism the way you did it that ingratiated yourself to fans, to people of color, to people that you had to often have strong disagreements with. And I just thought you held yourself to a standard that is so redeemable. And you're really a credit to the league, and I love having you on the show. I know you got a lot of options, and you chose us today, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Malcolm Jenkins, a great player, a filmmaker, and he made his own suit. For guys like me, come on, made his own suit. I want to look good, too. I can't make my own suit. Joy Taylor with the news. No.
is the Herd Line News.
Well, the Chiefs have a chance to be the first back-to-back Super Bowl champions in 16 years this
That
Sunday.
seems wrong. No, the Patriots didn't do back-to-backs. Yeah.
It's been a long time. And Andy Reid's teams are especially good when they have a week off. And Travis Kelce says they feel more prepared than ever.
You know, we've had the full game plan in for the past 2 weeks, and we've been able to, get after it in practice. I think just going into a bye week before the actual game, Coach Reid does a great job of just challenging us to make sure that we don't miss a day. We don't miss a snap. We don't miss a rep. And sure enough, I think we're as ready as we've ever been this week.
Yep, he's 26-5 off a bye. Speaks for itself.
Exactly. That's the best record for after a bye for any head coach since byes became standardized in 1990. He's amazing at that. But what is always impressive about Andy Reid is the looseness that they feel. He's so prepared, but it's not like a stiff prepared, like, okay, we're prepared, we're focused. Like we know what you have to do. As people ask me all the time, like, do you ever get nervous going on air? I'm like, the only time I ever am nervous about anything is when I'm not prepared.
Same here.
If I don't know what's going on,
Don't make me ad-lib about something.
About something that I don't know what I'm even talking about.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'm in a bad situation. But no, of course not. We do 2 hours of prep call and then do another meeting with our producers. Like, we're very prepared for this. It's not like we're coming up here winging it. We make it look natural.
Yes.
That's what they do.
Right.
That's what they do when you're really prepared. I also have no conviction in my pick whatsoever. I have the Chiefs winning 38-34.